A very warm welcome to the weekly market forecast for the 10th of October. And we're going to go through the video now. I think we've got some really exciting things going on in the markets this week, and I'm going to go through them. But first, let me tell you what's going on. And in order, first of all, we're going to look at the DXY to see where next for the US dollar. Risk on, risk off. Let's find out. Then I'm going to go into the news. Data out this week looks really important. We've got some CPI data coming out, inflation figures, and that's going to have an impact on markets. Futures contracts, this gives us a head start into what's happening in terms of the pairs. So if we've got one weak currency and one strong currency, then that gives us a heads up to find out what our favorites are for this week. Then we're going to go into the main FX section and look at the main markets. We're going to look at gold, we're going to look at silver, and we're going to look at oil. Where next for those? Indices are really important, and some interesting setups coming up, and it doesn't look good. And lastly, at the end of this 15-minute video, I'm going to give you my best trades for this week and the setups. Before we go on to the DXY, this is our website, thetradingmentors.com. If you've not been here before, you're very welcome. Delighted to welcome you to the weekly market forecast. If you're not in our newsletter, every week I send you my analysis for the week, and all you need to do is simply fill out the form here, just your name, your email, and submit, and then I'll put you on the database and you'll receive our weekly analysis. So on to the DXY. This is continuing into the bull run, and as we can see, the price 112.74 I think it finished on, or thereabouts. This is a Heikin-Ashi chart. We always use Heikin-Ashi because it removes all the noise. Not interested in what's going on minute by minute, nor should you be. And so what's happening at the moment? We have a parabolic, more like a correction into the uptrend, and it's probably likely to be a bit of a pull down, but we are bullish on the US dollar in the short term. Our target for this week is 115.16. There's some news out this week. We will have an impact on this, and we'll go to that now. So on to the news, and don't forget there's a bank holiday tomorrow in the US, so volumes are going to be very slight, and there won't be any trading opportunities tomorrow. So on to Tuesday. There's no news out on Monday either. So on to Tuesday. And it's mostly the US dollar we're interested in. And the US dollar on Tuesday, there's no news. So we should have a normal trading day on Tuesday. In terms of Wednesday, we've got the PPI coming out at 1:30 UK time. So this is high impact. This have an impact on your US dollar trades and the DXY. And we have the FOMC minutes as well at 7 o'clock in the evening UK time. Thursday, initial jobless claims at 1:30. Friday, retail sales. So there's lots of data coming out next week which will have an impact on the US dollar, and we'll keep an eye on that. And everyone that's in my Telegram channel, if you're not in my Telegram channel, then click on the link below and you can get in that way, and I'll let you know whenever there's a news out which could have impact on that. So let's jump on to the futures. This is the Euro futures, and as we can see, this continues to be weak despite the buy signal. This is not a buy. You can see that the trend channel is still down, and the price is below the 50-day moving average. So this is continuation of weak. Our target for 0.9550 for this week on the euro. In terms of sterling, we can see that we now have a sell signal on our software below the 50-day moving average, and so this price is going to fall. The government tried to back this up, but this is purely a spike, and the downtrend is going to continue, and we could see a major crash here on sterling, so keep an eye on that. If it does, then we'll be in it, and the target is 5238.80. The continued weakness in the yen continues, although it's consolidating at the moment, we don't really have any clear definition of the yen. So this is not going to be one of my favorites for this week. We still have positions on some of the yens from last week's favorites, the Aussie yen and so on. But as you can see here, the sell-off on the yen started on the 18th of August. Just for people who are coming in for the first time, how we use the futures, if we see a strong futures contract and we see a weak futures contract. So for instance, the DXY is strong, although I'd like to see it stronger. If the DXY is strong and the yen is weak, then we can safely say that the US yen is going to go up. And that certainly looks like the case at the moment. So, and it has broken this trend line here, support line, and so we expect this to continue weak yen, but I'm not totally convinced. We'll have to wait for the data. On the Canadian futures, our target here was hit from last week's video, 38.05. Now it needs to break down and continue. We've got a sell signal below the 50-day moving average, and so therefore it's likely to continue to fall. And the target for this week is 37.50. Weak Canadian, strong DXY. You probably guess what our favourite might be. As I said at the end of this video, I shall give you my favourite trades to set up and the targets. This is the futures, the Swiss futures, and as you can see that this is weak, but it's a bit like the yen, it's consolidating really, but we've got a sell signal, so we go by that, and the target for this week is 10080. Traded gold to the upside as per last week's video. The futures contracts on gold were long and the price spiked and spiked and spiked and hit our target of 51.821. Now we have to wait and see in terms of a longer term situation for gold. This is now reached the top of the range of this range here, the linear regression channel, and now if it rolls over, we could see a big move down to target 47.826. My favourite futures contracts, Aussie, it continues to be weak. We've got another sell signal on here as well in a trend and continues to be weak. So you can take advantage of this. Aussie futures weak and target of 0.6220. I'm going to quickly jump into the indices now. As we can see, we had a big sell-off in the last 22nd of August. That was a big sell-off. Big sell-off on the 14th of September. So the last couple of months it's been selling off. Now it's consolidating, and this is the same pattern with every indices at the moment. It's not sure where to go now. My feeling is that it's forming a down channel and likely to come off and come off pretty sharply this quarter. It might not happen in October. I said last week that I'm expecting a big fall in October, but what tends to happen with crashes, and I've seen loads of them, 1987, I was around 1992, 2008, I lost several million, and it always surprises you. So just as when you think there's going to be a rally and it's not going to be a crash, it just suddenly happens and it takes everyone by surprise. But this is setting up just like that in 1987, 1992, and 2008. We've seen it all before, so now we're ready for it. So any falls that are going to come, then we will know about it in advance. But at the moment, all the indices, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P are all forming the same pattern and consolidating, sort of waiting for the news. And I think the news out on Wednesday, Thursday, the inflation figures, etc., will have a major impact on this. And what will probably happen is, if you're in my Telegram group, especially the VIP, then you're going to get some limit orders probably below here, for instance, as the price breaks this parabolic support area. Then if it's going to fall, then we're going to be in it and we're not even having a target. So we are going to make a lot of money, and I hope you do too. The S&P 500 is the same as well. So not much to say about them at the moment because they're consolidating, and if the DXY is confirmed, as I will let you know, If it's confirmed, then of course the markets will crash and DXY will go to 121. On to commodities now, and congratulations if you traded oil on your software. Your software said to buy on the 4th of October. If you got that, congratulations, and I hope you're profiting. Now I'm expecting a pullback now, a correction in the markets from 93.44 currently as it's finished, and a pullback down to the support area of 88.50 will give us a good support area to get into, and the target for this week is $98. Silver's broken out from the down channel and now showing bullish. Now it needs to make its money. I'm not totally convinced of this, because what can happen, of course, it can continue down into the channel, and therefore we may have a sell. But nonetheless, it's broken the channel and pulled back and got a correction. So our target for this week is 22.80. On to gold, and as per the futures contracts, there was a buy signal, and the buy signal was on the 30th of September, and the price went up to this channel here and continued up to the top, up to the 50-day moving average. And this is expected to roll over in the next few days. We may have to wait for the data to come out from the US on Wednesday, Thursday, but nonetheless, I expect this to roll over and continue to be weak to 1585.9. On to pound USD. This is mixed, as I said, with the futures contracts on sterling. It's probably going to be weak, but not confirmed yet. We don't have a sell signal, so this is not one of my favourites, but nonetheless, a target which we planted and predicted on the 15th of September was hit, but we expect it now to roll over and get hit again. 10890. Euro futures were showing weakness, so this is the euro dollar. So, but we don't have confirmation yet, so again, it's not one of my favourites. But if we see a collapse of this euro, which we may do, target 0.9020. Now, well, some of these targets, of course, won't be hit in a week, probably a couple of weeks, but nonetheless, better to stick with the trades that are favourite, so we can compare the futures contracts, the weak futures contracts, with the strong ones, so we get better, more probable trades and more profitable trades. So let me jump on to the most favourite trades for this week. West Texas Oil. My broker does the West Texas Oil, so it's my favourite one to use, and any pullback on this down to 88.58 is highly likely, probably to get to $98 for this week. Stronger DXY, weak yen, means US yen is likely to continue. Now we've got to keep an eye on the data from the week and how that impacts on the dollar. However, as long as we see weakness, continued weakness in the yen and stronger dollar, then we can expect US yen to target 147.50. No higher, because there probably will be intervention at that stage. This is the 1998 previous high. Continued weakness in the futures contracts for Canada, and the US dollar looks like it continues to be strong. So any pullback on the US Canadian is going to impact on that, and we will have a trade, and the target for this week is 142.50. Aussie USD. If the US Canadian is going up, the Aussie USD is going down. Don't trade both, please. They do the opposite to each other. Don't double your risk. Choose one. And so the Aussie USD is going down, and we have a continued sell situation from the 14th of September. If you traded it from this sell signal, you're making a lot of money, believe me, and you're still holding it as well. So the target for this week, any kind of pullback back up to 0.6539. Let's draw a line there, just so you know. 0.6541 was the previous high on this candle. Any kind of pullback up to that area is going to likely to reject it at that point and then start to continue down. So we'll be looking out for that. The target 0.6250. Similar situation to the Kiwi, New Zealand USD. Target for this week 0.5480. Any kind of pullback back up to 0.5807 is likely to see it rejected and then fall. So look out for that trade. If you're in my Telegram VIP channel, then of course you'll get that signal. Congratulations to you all. This is from last week's video. We had a target of 90.50. The situation here is quite strange. Well, not strange. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. The parabolic trend has completed and there are support areas down here at 92.23. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. We're doing well on this. If you sold it up here at 97, you're still making a load of money. And now it's coming to the bottom of this channel as well. So how do we analyze that? Well, our software tells us that all the sellers are in. There's no reason to suspect anything else. All the sellers are in. If we get in the next few days some buyers, then we may take our profits. In the meantime, target 90.50. Now I know I say we're looking for a weak futures contract and a strong futures contract. This is the Euro Aussie and they're both weak. But what this tells us is that the Aussie futures is weaker than the Euro futures, which it is really because the Euro is holding up a little bit. So bearing that in mind, then of course we can expect a pullback, a correction in the Euro Aussie down to 1.5074, where we should see a bounce and it rejected at that support area here. And of course, then our target is going to be 1.5500. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. 17 minutes. I've gone over the 15 minutes, but never mind. Any questions or any comments, please let me know. And if you've enjoyed this, please like.